Because I think black people aren't the most unified people on the face of the earth. We gotta get everybody's schedule together.
Our people, like you said, are the most divided race of people on the face of the earth. But that's something that was done to us. Now when a black person gets a little something, they off in the corner and say, this is mine, back. We are so afraid of losing our that the idea of getting together is scary.
Eddie Murphy seems to have hinted at how the industry is blackballing black actors. And guess what? We've got the scoop on 5 actors who felt the sting of industry blackballing. So what exactly did Murphy say?
So what happens is black people reach a certain level of success, and what happens is you get your own little group around you, your own people around you, and you start to live this xenophobic existence.
In a candid reflection on the state of black representation in Hollywood, Eddie Murphy recently highlighted a pervasive issue: the lack of unity among black professionals in the industry. As the global consciousness awakens to the fragility of black life, spurred by movements like Black Lives Matter, the call for economic empowerment within the black community grows louder. Central to this empowerment is the support for black-owned businesses, a sentiment echoed by Murphy and documented by Dr. Clark Anderson in Power Dynamics. However, this call for unity contrasts sharply with the historic feud between Murphy and acclaimed filmmaker Spike Lee. Dating back to the early 80s, Lee criticized Murphy, among others, for not using their influence to create more opportunities for black individuals in Hollywood. In response, Murphy defended his actions, emphasizing his role as an entertainer rather than a political figure. Their differing approaches to addressing racism in Hollywood became apparent during the filming of Lee's Do the Right Thing, where Murphy would visit the set but maintain a distinct stance. Despite their public exchanges and occasional jabs at each other, the two eventually engaged in a deeper conversation about their perspectives. Lee urged Murphy to recognize the power he held within the industry, suggesting that his influence could affect substantial change. Murphy's reflections on black disunity shed light on a systemic issue rooted in historical oppression. He lamented the lack of cohesion within the black community, attributing it to a legacy of division imposed by external forces. Despite attempts to forge alliances, such as the proposed Black Pack initiative in the late 80s, unity remained elusive. The industry relies on our disunity, Murphy expressed. They've instilled this fear in us, this fear of losing what little we have. But it's time to challenge that fear. The failure of initiatives like the Black Pack underscores the challenges inherent in mobilizing black professionals in Hollywood, Murphy remarked. We've been conditioned to compete rather than collaborate. In any case, numerous black actors have encountered the adverse effects of Hollywood's divisive atmosphere, a concern Murphy has emphasized. Here are 5 instances showcasing actors who have faced industry blacklisting, a phenomenon seemingly fueled by the lack of unity within the black community. Chris Tucker. In the constellation of Hollywood stars, one name that shines brightly is Chris Tucker. With his distinctive high-pitched voice and impeccable comedic timing, Tucker has carved a niche for himself in the entertainment industry. From his breakthrough role in Friday to his iconic turn as Detective James Carter in the Rush Hour series, Tucker's career has been a roller coaster of success, contract demands, and an enduring legacy. Tucker's big break came with the 1995 film Friday, where he played the memorable character Smokey alongside Ice Cube. The film was a commercial success and a cult classic, catapulting Tucker into the limelight. Tucker's career reached new heights with the Rush Hour franchise. In 1998, he teamed up with martial arts legend Jackie Chan to create the dynamic duo of Detective James Carter and Inspector Lee. The chemistry between Tucker and Chan was electric, and the films were blockbuster hits. While Tucker's success in the Rush Hour series was undeniable, he became equally known for his contract demands. After the success of the first film, Tucker negotiated a groundbreaking $20 million salary for Rush Hour 2, making him one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood at the time. His salary for Rush Hour 3 was even more astonishing, reaching $25 million plus a percentage of the film's profits. These contract demands, while impressive, also led to Tucker taking a hiatus from acting. He stepped away from the big screen for several years, focusing on his stand-up comedy career and other ventures. His absence from Hollywood only added to the mystique surrounding his name. According to the man himself, he didn't really feel like he walked away from acting. It's shocking because I guess I'm the last person to know it, because I'm always working. Stand-up comedy or something else, I'm working. So when they say that, I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I haven't been on the big screen in a while, he said. I've traveled the world 10 times over. I've had relationships all over the world. I did a lot of humanitarian work all all over the world, so I'm always busy, always learning and growing, he continued. Tucker has also said that he became picky about his roles. Hollywood had a long-standing history of pigeonholing black artists into stereotypical roles, perpetuating racial biases and limiting opportunities for authentic representation. It was as if they couldn't see beyond the color of his skin, denying him the chance to showcase the full extent of his talent. Typecasting was a weapon Hollywood used to keep Tucker in a box. They kept offering him roles that played on racial stereotypes, making him this exaggerated, hyperbolic, and loud character. It was like they were stuck in a time warp, refusing to let him evolve as an actor and grow beyond the confines of these limiting roles. I knew I didn't want to just make a whole bunch of money making movies that don't really mean anything. I knew it wouldn't make me happy. It got to a point that I wanted to only do special roles, and those things weren't coming to me, and I couldn't find them. And I said, well, let me travel a little bit, live a little bit, instead of waiting on those things, he told GQ. Beyond the limitations of typecasting, there was also the issue of emasculation faced by young black artists in Hollywood. Emasculation refers to the undermining of one's masculinity, often through ridicule, degradation, or infantilization. In the context of the entertainment industry, it involves denying black men the opportunity to portray diverse and well-rounded characters that showcase their depth and humanity. In Tucker's case, emasculation was evident in how he was continuously pushed into roles that emphasized humor over depth, effectively reducing him to a one-dimensional character. This emasculation not only affected his career opportunities, but also reinforced harmful stereotypes that belittled the intelligence and emotional range of black men. Terrence Howard. In the early part of the 2000s, Terrence Howard was on the cusp of major stardom. He'd been around since the mid-90s, stealing scenes in movies like Dead Presidents, Mr. Holland's Opus, and The Best Man, which spawned a legit franchise. But it was his role in Paul Haggis's Oscar winner Crash that led to many saying he would be the next great actor of his generation. His role in the Sundance breakout Hustle and Flow was a sensation that nabbed him a well-deserved Oscar nomination, and he followed it up with excellent character work in Four Brothers, The Brave One, Get Rich or Die Trying, and more. But his role as James Rhodes in Iron Man promised big things to come. At the time, no one knew the film would kick off the MCU, and he was well-positioned, with his character slated to become War Machine in the sequel. Yet, when Iron Man 2 came out in 2010, he was replaced by Don Cheadle. What happened? The accounts differ, but the consensus is that Howard was asked to take a significant pay cut to continue in the role, and he refused. Since then, Howard has maintained that losing the part harmed his career in a significant way. That said, he went on to arguably his greatest success as an actor in 2015 when he signed on to play the lead in Empire, a TV show that became a cult sensation and made him a household name. But gossip and Howard's own bizarre antics seemed to follow him around. Most recently, he was back in the limelight thanks to his continuing role in the Best Man franchise. But following the release of the limited series, The Best Man: The Final Chapters, he announced that he was officially retiring as an actor. Katt Williams. Katt Williams is regarded by many as one of the funniest comics of his generation. He's known for his unfiltered humor, energy, and blockbuster stand-up specials. Despite his ranking among Hollywood's greats, however, Williams hasn't received the same mainstream push that his contemporaries have. He doesn't star in blockbuster movies like Kevin Hart, and you'll rarely catch Williams sponsoring in a commercial. For a while, some thought this meant Williams was blackballed from the industry. But in a recent interview with the New York radio station Hot 97, Williams set the record straight. Katt Williams has built his career from the ground up. Born in Cincinnati, Ohio, Williams spent much of his time in Dayton growing up. He started performing at comedy shows when he was underaged, spending years developing his craft while expanding his brand. His career took off in 2002, where he joined Nick Cannon's Wild 'N Out comedy sketch show. His profile further increased by featuring in 2002's Friday After Next. By 2006, he starred in his first stand-up special, Katt Williams Live, Let a Play. From there, his legend grew into what it is today. Katt Williams' career has experienced much controversy. He's been involved with some high-profile feuds with other celebrities for speaking his mind. Williams has criticized Tiffany Haddish on V103 Atlanta. His opinions prompted Kevin Hart to defend Haddish, which later led to a feud between the two legendary comedians. He also feuded with the likes of Steve Harvey and Jamie Foxx. Additionally, Williams has not shied away from calling out Hollywood elites. In a 2013 interview with Blacktree TV, while discussing his role in Scary Movie 5, Katt delved into some interesting topics, including a theory about Black actors being forced to wear dresses on screen in order to progress to the next level of fame. It's worth noting that this interview came out not long after Kevin Hart appeared on an SNL skit wearing a dress. For context, it all started when Dave Chappelle, another revered comedian, appeared on Oprah's show in 2006, where he talked openly about his refusal to accept a $50 million deal from Comedy Central. He felt that such deals came with strings attached, and he was unwilling to be controlled or humiliated for the sake of a paycheck. Chappelle's revelations didn't end there. He recounted being asked to wear a dress for a movie scene, an experience that left him deeply uncomfortable. According to him, many comedians had faced similar situations, having to don dresses on screen, and it often coincided with a critical juncture in their careers. This, too, was a nod to the prevailing industry belief that Black entertainers needed to cross this peculiar threshold to advance. Fast forward to 2012, when Kevin Hart was asked about Dave Chappelle's claims during a radio show. While he didn't explicitly say no to ever wearing a dress, Hart emphasized the importance of personal boundaries. He stated that crossing these boundaries was non-negotiable for him.
You have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross.
He even cited examples of bizarre requests he had received, such as dribbling a basketball on a talk show, which he politely declined. Hart stressed the importance of protecting his brand and the potential risks of compromising it. However, just a year later, Hart appeared in an SNL skit where he donned a dress, a move that drew sharp criticism from fans. Some accused him of being a sellout, arguing that he had contradicted his earlier stance. The skit portrayed him as a 9-year-old child pope, an image that many believed didn't align with the Kevin Hart they had come to know.
The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Pavashane Wallace.
Katt Williams seized this opportunity to reignite the feud. He suggested that Kevin Hart's actions on SNL were merely part of a larger pattern, insinuating that Hart was willingly playing by the industry's rules to secure fame and fortune. Williams opined that Hart's success allowed him to escape criticism for wearing a dress, as a long line of comedians had already done so before him.
At the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him.
He pointed to movies like Big Mama's House and the Medea franchise as examples of previous instances where comedians had donned dresses. Williams didn't go all out in his attack on Hart. Instead, he subtly questioned the choices made by comedians who aimed for mainstream success. He hinted that some entertainers, including himself and Dave Chappelle, were willing to go against the grain and, as a result, might never attain the same level of fame as Hart. Apart from this ongoing celebrity drama, Williams has found himself in numerous trouble with the law in the years following his success. From punching a pool supply guy to getting into a physical altercation with a 17-year-old, Williams has found himself featured on the news frequently. Although he has 19 felonies, he's never been convicted. His lack of filter and his frequent troubles with the law caused speculation among his fan base. Theories emerged that Williams wasn't as successful as he could have been because he truly was blackballed in the entertainment industry. MoNique has been calling out Hollywood elites for ages for blackballing her. This started after the release of the 2009 movie Precious, produced by Oprah and Tyler Perry and directed by Lee Daniels. MoNique received widespread acclaim for her incredible performance and won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. Since MoNique's performance created so much buzz, Oprah and Tyler asked her to go on a press tour to promote the film. However, here's the kicker: they didn't want to pay her for this. So MoNique declined, explaining that she'd rather spend time with her husband and kids after putting in so much effort into Precious. According to MoNique, as soon as she said no to Oprah and Tyler Perry, headlines started popping up, painting her as difficult and impossible to work with. Right after Precious hit screens, MoNique watched as several roles that came her way suddenly vanished into thin air. Hollywood seemed to have slammed its door shut on her. MoNique later told The Hollywood Reporter that Lee Daniels admitted she was being blackballed. When she asked him why, Daniels responded, "Because you didn't play the game." However, when MoNique asked Daniels to explain what game he was talking about, he didn't know what to say. But we can all guess what the game is. They were basically sending a message that all Black entertainers need to worship the ground Oprah walks on and never say anything negative about her or else. However, MoNique didn't let them silence her. In a 2015 interview with THR, MoNique alleged that the movie director blackballed her from working in Hollywood, also leveling similar claims at Perry and Winfrey, who she's still on the outs with, claiming they aided in the effort. One of the networks said to Lee that I was really difficult to work with, MoNique said at the time. Whoever those people are who say MoNique is difficult, those people are either heartless, ruthless, or treat people like they're worthless. and that's unacceptable. I come from a blue-collar town, and being from that place, you learn not to let anybody take advantage of you. You don't let people mistreat you. You stand up for what's right. Arsenio Hall. In the 1990s, Arsenio Hall captured the hearts of Hollywood as the host of the hugely popular late-night talk show, The Arsenio Hall Show. From 1989 to 1994, CBS viewers were treated to a dynamic and vibrant party where A-list celebrities flocked to join Hall. Hip-hop icons, revered sports stars, and beloved Hollywood personalities eagerly took the stage to chat with the charismatic host. Yet, the show's unexpected cancellation left fans bewildered, prompting speculation about the factors leading to its demise. Hall's interview with Nation of Islam leader Minister Louis Farrakhan, February 25, 1994, was pivotal in the show's trajectory. During their nearly hour-long conversation, the two delved into racism and anti-Semitism, prompting admiration and criticism. "Are you a black Hitler?" Hall asked Farrakhan during the interview. "I have never desired to put another human being in an oven. I have never taught that Jews should be exterminated," Farrakhan said. "If I am righteous, I can never hate another person because of their faith." Some accused Hall of fawning over Farrakhan and lacking the necessary interviewing skills to challenge his views effectively. Following the Farrakhan interview, Hall faced sharp criticism regarding his interview style, with detractors claiming he failed to scrutinize Farrakhan's statements adequately. Critics argued that Hall's performance as an interviewer was lacking, accusing him of being excessively deferential and allowing Farrakhan to express his views without substantial rebuttal. In the wake of the controversy, Hall expressed surprise at the level of attention garnered by the Farrakhan interview. He revealed that the controversy began before the interview aired, as the mere announcement of Farrakhan as a guest sparked significant interest. He told the Vlad radio show, "Before Farrakhan came on, just the fact that it was booked, I noticed that the day was announced, and it was kind of interesting. My producing partner was a Jewish woman, Marla Kell Brown. We were shocked. The attention that it got on the day the booking was announced, but we knew our audience were interested in him and the coming Million Man March," Hall said. He added, "I'm not exactly sure why booking him caused people to deal with me differently than Barbara Walters or anybody else that interviewed him." Hall clarified that he had submitted his resignation letter before the interview, implying that that particular episode did not solely seal the show's fate. "My resignation letter was long before the Farrakhan booking. That's on record. I was still trying to do great shows, but the bottom line is, at the time, I had resigned." Despite the setback, Arsenio Hall made an ambitious attempt to revive the Arsenio Hall show 19 years after its initial cancellation. The show returned to the airwaves on September 9, 2013, hoping to recapture the magic that made it a cultural phenomenon. During the comeback season, he showcased Hall's commitment to providing a platform for diverse voices and perspective. His guest lineup featured a mix of established celebrities, up-and-coming talents, and influential figures from various fields. From thought-provoking interviews to lively performances, the show sought to capture the essence of its predecessor while adapting to the changing landscape of late-night television. However, despite initial excitement and solid viewership numbers, the Arsenio Hall show faced several challenges that ultimately led to its cancellation after just one season. In any case, all these black celebrities have in one way or the other faced the wrath of Hollywood, which is often preserved for actors who refuse to conform to its standard, something that Eddie Murphy is all too familiar with. Anyway, that's it for this video, folk. Bye.